Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another recap, and today is another one from All American Homecoming episode 10, Move On. Yeah, a lot's been going on. So basically, it's service week for all the people at Princeton that involve sports. So you got volleyball, tennis, baseball, basketball, football, whatever the case may be. The mentees, I guess middle school or high schoolers who plan on, trying to play sports in college, this would be a great opportunity for them to get some skills, some practice, and to meet others who are just in the same boat as them a few years ahead of the top. So Simone, she gets her mentee, Maya, and all the other ones get their mentees or whatever. So Keisha, she hosts the meeting with the help of her dad, and they got any issues, they could come talk to her or whatever. But Simone, she's also her mom comes back into town, which is awesome. Let's see what else. Simone, she basically focused on helping her mentee. Once she finds out that her mentee is having like issues with affording her equipment and stuff like that, she tries to find a way to she can help her. Damon, he finds out that JR's mom, finds out that JR's mom, Celine, was in contact with his dad. So basically he tried to see if JR can set up with a meeting with his mom so they can talk and have, get some answers. Because Damon's trying to find out who his biological parents are. So eventually Damon does meet up with JR's mom, and he starts telling her like how does she know this coffee shop from back in the day, and does she know this guy, which is his dad. And she's like, she felt taken aback, and she ended up just getting up and leaving and didn't say anything about it. So JR gets his text from his mom later on in the day saying that, she want to cancel dinner. And Damon's just like, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Damon is just like, what's that all about? Thea, she's still trying to struggle with the fact that, this guy Kevin is still around. And when she's going to the service week, she sees him there. And, she gets taken aback and she leaves. So JR's ex-girlfriend, Quilla, she sees that, and then she ends up finding Thea outside, and she goes to talk to her, and it tells her, like, listen, you're not the only one. And so Thea's like, okay, I understand, and whatever. So Simone, she's kind of like feeling out of it, but she's still trying to be supportive to everybody. She eventually does run into Damon, and no, before she runs into Damon, she runs into Thea, and she tries to talk to her like, listen, I'm here for you if you need me. So when she does finally see Thea, they have a little talk out, and Thea was like, listen, when I needed you, you was nowhere to be found. So when they had the party, she was out with Jordan, so she wasn't there. And then when she had something else, she ended up leaving as well. So it's like, Thea's like, I don't know if I can really trust you. And then she walks off. So then Simone goes to class, and Damon's there, and Cam is there. And then she's like, well, I spoke to Thea, but I feel like I've made it worse. So Damon calls Thea, try to talk to her, but he got her voicemail. And then Cam is overheard. He was like, listen, your mentee and my mentee, they're friends. So it's like, what's the problem? But Simone tells him, like, listen, she's good, but she's just, having a rough time trying to figure out if she can afford to be in this program or whatnot like that. So basically, Damon, Cam, and Simone, they come up with this idea to advise a plan so that they can help the kids out on the long run, because, everybody needs a little help nowadays. So with that being said, they have a family meeting. Everybody comes and they talk about the issues. Then her mom comes in and she offers her some advice, and they set up a meeting so that way they can get like kind of like a sponsorship deal or whatever. Amara, she also goes talking to Zeke to see if, you know, because she was told that it was her ex-friend's sister that set her up. And so she goes to Zeke to see what's the plan about what's going to happen. Zeke was like, I talked to her and stuff like that. And, Mara just like, okay, whatever. So come to find out that Veronica is probably, and kind of like, how can I say this? Kind of like sleeping with Zeke, but Amara doesn't know that for sure. So, once Veronica shows up at Amara's class, she was contemplating on, leaving Princeton, but then again, she's thinking about maybe I should stay because now something is about to change, something new, big is about to come, and I want to be able to say if I can get a story and see what's going on. Coach Turner, he's basically going through it. I don't know if he stopped taking his meds, but he's like forgetting stuff, and he's not like basically going through mood swings. So he tried to say that one of his assistant coach didn't give him the paperwork, but then again later on he finds out that he did have the paperwork and it was already signed. So it's like he don't know if he might go back on his meds or not. So we'll see. Long story short, Simone, they was able to get with the help of Damon, get the sponsorship on board. She basically convinced Maya to take a second chance of, trying out for the program to see if it's going to work for her because she's really good. She's talented. She would definitely go far. JR and his mom have a talk. And I guess she finally explains everything. Then she calls Damon. They call Damon so that they can have a sit-down talk. Thea and Aquila, they have a good conversation. Eventually, Thea speaks up because, she was going through it. She can't really handle the fact that, she could have almost been molested or whatever, but with the help of Damon, that was prevented. So eventually she calls to schedule a meeting with President Zeke and the boards of deans of students, and eventually they get him canceled, and Aquila does go help and tells her side of the story of what happened. And, we're going to move forward that way. It always takes that one person to speak up. Because if you stay silent, there won't be no change. So I'm glad Thea decided to speak up. Because you help saving not only yourself, the next person, or a previous person. Because you never know what somebody's going through. So Damon goes to JR's room. His mom is there. And she tells him, like, listen. Yeah, back then, I had an affair with your dad, and I got pregnant. And I think you are my son, and you are JR's brother. So, the whole entire time when JR thought about it in the beginning, there was like, he might be his brother. And when they took the DNA test, it said no. I'm wondering, what happened to the DNA test? Did they switch out the test or what? Because that didn't make no sense. Because the picture looked like it could have been Damon when he was younger. So it's like, I can't wait. Next week, it's about to be real. And there's only 3 episodes left. Yeah, so we're going to stay tuned. I will keep y'all posted for next week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.